You. Yeah, you. Come on. Come with me. Okay, I gotta show you something real quick. I got it. Hey, VSauce. Michael here. Godot.
Versus Python.
But what is the difference? See, this granola bar is a lot like my code when I use Python. It's tasty, it's good, but it's held together by who knows what, just some sort of like dark black magic. It's a lot like this spaghetti. Sure, it tastes good, but it's all messy.
This spaghetti represents my code when Godot. It's nice, neat, clean. Or is it?
We've all used Pygame before, but it's frustrating, annoying, difficult, and many other not positive things to use. But why is that? Why does it suck to use Pygame?
The primary reason that Pygame is slow and unreliable is because it wasn't developed back when Python was. Python's never been focused on front-end development or graphics. Rather, it's been used often in back-end programming. This makes sense, as Python allows for really readable code due to its focus on whitespace. However, when it comes to graphics, it doesn't really work very well. Pygame was built as a community-based library to give a back-end focused language some front-end capabilities in 2000. But I don't think the next Minecraft will be made in Pygame due to its limited capabilities.
Too bad there isn't a way for Python to work well with graphics.
Or is it? You good?
Godot is a video game engine released in 2014. In Python, there's a concept known as classes. Basically, think of it as a program's way to describe an object. Although there are classes in Godot, an easier way to think about it is with nodes.
Let's say I'm making a 3D platformer. Now, in Pygame, I would have to toil for minutes just to get a cube with collisions, but in Godot... And it's done!
In total, Godot has 219 nodes. Each one of these has their own instructions. For example, this right here is the 3D label node. This node allows me to put text into the 3D world of Godot.
This brings us to the core of Godot, the scripting. Godot uses a language called GDScript.
And let me tell you, this is one of the most difficult languages to crack ever. You will not be able to figure it out after 1,000 years.
It's almost identical to Python.
It really is.
Godot's syntax is almost identical to Python's, with the core differences being that now you define a function by writing func function name instead of def function name. The other major difference is with the variable declaration. In Python, you simply have to go chair equals chair.png. In Godot, though, you have to first say var when defining it. This is called variable declaration. And all it is it's basically going, hey, code, I am telling you what a variable is, and then proceeding to tell it what the variable is. Here's a pretty good example, though, of this difference.
Okay, Chris, this is a door.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, this is a door.
I don't know what a door is.
This is a door.
I've never heard of this thing in my life.
This is a door.
I don't know what it is.
I am telling you what a door is. This is a door.
Oh, okay.
After you tell the code what the variable is, you can then modify it however you want. However, don't even think about not writing var when you initially define, or else the dreaded red text of doom appears. Legitimately though, this is a really helpful feature. Godot will scan your code and try its darndest to make sure it works. If it catches anything, it'll tell you before you even have to run your code.
But I think we've become acquainted with Godot by now. For this project, Case and I both made little Godot tech demos. Mine is called Don't Get Irradiated by the Sun.
Don't Get Irradiated by the Sun is essentially a walking sim where you can talk to reanimated skeletons, celestial bodies, and ooh, you can open the doors. And oh, chests too? We're getting into AAA territory here. This game functions mainly off a Godot-specific feature called signals. Signals essentially allow different parts of your game to talk to each other, like an intercontinental telephone call. It allows me to make the sun tell the audio player, "Hey, play some ominous music! And the audio player goes, alright. Signals also allow me to do checks in my files so that I can... Metagaming is a literary device used in games to show that the game knows it's a game. My game uses this a ton for all the different endings you can achieve. It does this by creating files in the data folder for the game. Godot has a feature where you can create files for things like persistence. I use these files to know if you didn't find the chest ending on your second run. Other than that, the game is pretty small in scope, making few functions, normal variable declarations, and global variables. Think my game is too small? Well,
My game is the smallest one here. It's called... A small game is a physics-based puzzle game.
does that mean this game's gonna teach me about physics?
No, the genre got its name because you use the simulated physics engine to solve puzzles, such as in Portal, where you use momentum to solve certain puzzles, or just drop a cube onto a button.
Fascinating.
A small game is currently nothing more than a tech demo with no real challenging puzzles. This is because I spent my time on mechanics rather than level design. For example, I have these walls and floors that change between being a solid object and being transparent and walk-throughable simply by pressing the tab button. This works due to a script I wrote that gets the walls node, checks what groups it's in, and changes the object's texture and collision based on that. The actual code that changes everything happens over here. But what is a group? A group is basically a way to organize nodes. If you look at this wall, it's set to be able to change, which means that it won't work in my code. This wall, however, isn't set to change, which means it won't change. I also have 3 objects here that change the player's size. One shrinks, one grows, and the other resets the player's size by running a constant collision check to see if the player is in it. I'm sure you noticed, however, that this globals thing is written in front of a bunch of variables. What is it? Is it gonna eat my code? Nah, don't worry. These here are global variables, and it's something I use heavily in my code. Global variables are variables any part of my program can access, which means that different scripts can change my player size.
Well, looks like we're running out of time.
Is that really the best outro you can come up with?
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I do. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you learned a thing about Godot. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. Insert ending phrase here.
That was really bad.
Yeah, it was.